Sonic and Mario have both had their hands dipped into the DS. Like, a lot. To some varying quality. I mean, have you seen Chronicles? Because you guys voted on it, I'm going to be looking at which series has the worst DS game. Last time Sonic lost, and I really hope I don't see him lose again. I'll start with Sonic this time. He seems like the only guy around here who really knows how to make a chili dog. Sonic started things off with Sonic Rush. This and Sonic Rush Adventure are absolutely goated, like with the sauce. They actually introduced the boost formula seen in Sonic Unleashed and a couple other games, but I never look at this like it's an actual boost formula game. They're definitely different from Sonic Advance games though. The two-screen gameplay is pretty cool too. I won't stare at these games for too long. Like I said, they're goated. They are the Sonic experience on the Nintendo DS. And unfortunately, this video is for the worst ones. But if it was for the best ones, I wouldn't even be talking about the rest. Next up is Sega Superstars Tennis. Don't worry, I'll save the Olympic Games series for last. Sega Superstars Tennis is pretty mid. I played the Wii version a lot as a kid. In fact, I actually own 2 copies. My original copy just refused to work after I played it at a friend's house. So of course I had to get another copy. His Wii actually did the same thing to my copy of Zero Gravity, which is why I have 2 copies of that too. You can really tell I loved replacing mid games when I was a kid. Anyway, the game is tennis with some spins. Each character has a special move that comes out of nowhere, and these give them a huge advantage. If you've played Mario Tennis, you're familiar with these anyway. It's mostly a Sonic game. He gets the most representation, but there's plenty of other franchises here too. We've got Space Channel 5, Knights, Jet Set Radio, and a couple more. There's also some mini games. When I was a kid, I was the highest ranking person in the world for the House of the Dead one. Or at least, that's what the ranking system told me. Honestly, I don't even remember if it was connected to internet, but my mother was proud of me nonetheless. Would I play this game in the big 2026? Probably not, but it's fine enough. If you want tennis, they got tennis here. Next up in the chronological order is the big one. The one people think of when they hear about how bad Sonic DS games can be. Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood. Really feels like Ken Pender should have had a hand in this one. Probably why he sued. Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood is a turn-based RPG where you build a little team of Sonic characters to fight off the Marauders. The story is very long. Basically, Eggman was beaten, but he's discovered to not only not be dead, he's also good now. There's a group of echidnas called Marauders who were trapped in another dimension for the last 4,000 years. As you can imagine, this comes as a shock to Knuckles, who believed he was the last of the echidnas. The group is led by some asshole trying to take over the Earth, and our guys have to stop him. Sonic and team goes into the other dimension to beat up these guys and save the Earth. They meet lots of other races in there and save them from being enslaved. I don't know, man. There's a ton of bullshit that happens in this game. In the end, they save the day and come back to find out 2 years had passed on Earth and Eggman had taken over. The game ends with a cliffhanger. A sequel that never came. I actually mentioned that sequel that never came in my last video of craziest unused content, which you should go check out if you're like a decent human being or something. The game gets a lot of hate. Most people see this as being the worst DS game in Sonic's arsenal. I don't know, I might have to defend it here. Which, if you've seen my channel, defending bad Sonic games is not something I do very much. Cause you know, the biggest Sonic haters are Sonic's fans. I grew up really liking this game. The story is long, but it's interesting to see more echidna lore. The gameplay leaves something to be desired, but I was enjoying some turn-based Sonic stuff either way. The music fucking sucks. But that's an easy fix. Just listen to other music while you play. Is it the best game? No. It exists in a world of its own in my head. Plus, the little puzzles can be a little annoying here and there. At the end of the day, there is zero reason to play this unless you're a Sonic fan playing it for the sake of playing a Sonic game. Otherwise, you can just read the story online. Besides the story, it's mediocre as far as this genre goes. Just go play Pokemon or something. Okay, the big one is out of the way. If you disagree with my defending it, I don't really care. But please, comment about it and boost my engagement. Next up is Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing for the DS. God, what an ugly game. It looks a lot worse than the console versions, but what did you expect? It's effectively the same game with shorter courses. I really liked this game when it came out. Obviously these days, with Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, it's a bit outdated, but it's always a good time. I'm gonna say the biggest hot take of my YouTube career here. I prefer it to Transformed, but you didn't hear it from me. Yeah, it's just a racing game. The bottom screen shows a map of the course though, which is a pretty cool addition that the console versions don't have. have. Next up is a collection of classic games, and I always love these. Well, specifically, I always loved Sonic Mega Collection Plus and Sonic Gems Collection. Why we haven't gotten a collection game this good in a long time is beyond me. Honestly, it just feels lazy at a certain point. Sonic Origins Plus is nice and all, but where's 16-bit Sonic Spinball? I know if nobody got me, 16-bit Sonic Spinball got me. Can I get an amen? Anyway, Sonic Classic Collection has Sonic 1, 2, 3, Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, along with Knuckles and Sonic 2. So basically, it's a worse version of Sonic Origins. Never mind Sonic Origins Plus. The game runs okay. If for a DS collection, I guess it's fine. The extras are just some illustrations too. Basically, at this point, just go emulate Mega Collection Plus. You'll have so much more fun that way. The games on Classic Collection are a bit slow. Nothing like the Game Boy Advance version of Sonic 1, which I talked about in my worst Game Boy Advance games video, which you should go check out. Man, I'm really advertising myself in this video. While it's nowhere near as bad, the DS has no excuse for struggling with games from the early to mid-90s. They seriously lag here. Like, it was already kind of inexcusable on the Game Boy Advance, but here it's just fucking embarrassing. I know this game got decent reception, but for what it is, Sega should have been embarrassed putting this game on shelves. Lastly, we have Sonic Colors. Sonic Colors for the DS, honest to God, might be better than the console version. It's running on the Sonic Rush engine, and because of this, many people think of it as a third Rush game with wisps from Colors. And I don't exactly disagree. I mean, you know, it's not a third Rush game. If I called it that, Shadow the Hedgehog is just Sonic Adventure 3 or Sonic Heroes 2. But it does feel like a third Rush game, and with how good the Rush series is, it comes off really well. The boost from the Rush games is here again. I mean, I would hope so, with Colors literally being a boost formula game. And feeling exactly like a Rush game with the added gimmick of wisps is good enough for me. Welcome back, Sonic Rush 3. Okay, with that being said, which game is the worst? This is a toss-up, since the main contenders are Classic Collection and Chronicles. Chronicles is nowhere near as bad as everyone makes it out to be. I'll defend that to the end. Classic Collection isn't great, but it's definitely better than Genesis on the Game Boy Advance. And that was the pick for worst Sonic game in that video, which you should go make sure to check that one out. But I'd feel weird giving the worst DS game basically the same answer as worst Game Boy Advance game. And again, consider that this one is better than the one on the Game Boy Advance. I think it has to be Chronicles. I'm giving in to the haters here. While I don't think it's the worst game on Earth, it does drag on, and the gameplay isn't the most captivating either. A lot of these fights feel like they're padding for time. A lot like wild Pokemon fights, actually. Before we go on to Mario, make sure you guys subscribe, and let me know what you guys think of Sonic DS games. Oh, reminder that I haven't forgotten, Olympic games are still saved for last. They get their own category. Alright, I'm looking at you, Red Plumber. Which DS game is the worst one? Now, when I look up Mario games on the DS, I find plenty of options. Plenty that I don't want to look at. Like Super Princess Peach? I would include it, but Mario isn't even in the title. So that's my condition. Mario's name has to be in the title. No WarioWare, no Yoshi games, even though Yoshi's Island is fantastic. This is purely about Mario, even if Baby Mario is right there. So let's go in chronological order, just like before. Super Mario 64 DS. I feel like I've been talking about Mario 64 a lot recently. The DS version of this game is seen by many to be much better than the original, and by some to be a huge downgrade. Really, the only complaint about this game are the controls, because the DS doesn't have a thumbstick and has a D-pad instead, you only have 8 directions to move. This makes precision platforming in a 3D environment much harder. Even emulating the game and using a controller with a regular stick doesn't fix it, since the game is hard-coded to only support 8 directional movement. There are hacks that fix this these days, which is a drastic improvement over what we got. There's the touchscreen too, which allows for better movement, but nobody likes controlling it with this shit. Besides the movement, this is genuinely a Mario 64 2, which, if you don't know, was planned for the 64 disk drive. More on that in my last video on craziest unused content. Okay, I'm done advertising myself. I mean, you play through many of the same levels, but this time the story is a bit different. You get 3 extra playable characters, and there is added content. 3 characters are great, and all have their own issues. The worst one is Wario, though. He kinda sucks. All in all, it was good for its time. The fans have been fixing this, but if we got a real definitive remake or remaster on the Switch, that would be a fucking dream come true. Nintendo would be printing money. Hell, a new port of this game on Switch 2 with fixed controls would make oodles of money by itself. Next up in order is Mario and Luigi Partners in Time, the second installment in the Mario and Luigi series. This and the next game kind of fall into a Sonic Rush kind of thing. These games are fantastic, every single one of them. This one in particular is about aliens invading the Mushroom Kingdom to capture toads and use them for their toad power, which is something that is never mentioned again. Mario and Luigi have to work together with their past selves in order to beat them. Using the baby versions of themselves, the two can actually do some cool platforming tricks like reaching higher areas. There's turn-based action here where you work with the baby versions of Mario and Luigi. Honestly, with the alien invasion and everything, this is just a better Sonic Chronicles. Same goes for Bowser's Inside Story, but I'll talk more about that later. Anyway, this is a great game. Moving on. Mario Kart DS. I fucking loved this game growing up. Now, I am a plebeian who plays with motion controls. I am a Mario Kart Wii veteran, and those skills still persist in current Mario Kart games. But I'm damn good with those motion controls. Mario Kart DS was still a great game to pick up back then too. It's honestly a better option than Sonic's racing variants for the DS. But that's typically the case between Mario and Sonic racing games. Mario Kart DS is not considered for this list. Moving right along. Yeah, whenever a game isn't even considered here, I'm not going to spend too much time there. Don't know if you've realized that by now. Next up is Mario vs. Donkey Kong 2, March of the Minis. I won't lie, I didn't grow up playing Mario vs. Donkey Kong, so I had to go look a bit more into this one than some of the other games I'm talking about. March of the Minis is a puzzle game, and a pretty good one at that. The game starts off a bit easy, but towards the late game, there's just so much going on that it's kind of hard to keep up with each mini and where they're going. The story is a bit silly, but I doubt much went into this one anyway. There's a theme park of mini Marios and Donkey Kongs. Before it opens, Mario and Pauline are about to cut the ribbon when Donkey Kong falls in love with Pauline. She rejects him, he kidnaps her out of anger, like creeps on Reddit wish they could, and the mini Marios save Pauline. Turns out she was just fine and Donkey Kong apologizes. So we really could have just waited then. It's pretty fun. Controlling the minis across a scrolling screen like this, it kind of reminds me of Territory War from back in the day. Next up is New Super Mario Bros. And like it or hate it, actually you can't hate it because this one is fucking awesome in the grand scheme of things. New Super Mario Bros. Takes everything from the classic 2D games, modernizes it in the way Sonic the Hedgehog 4 should have, and brings in new aspects that are pretty great actually. Even the Mega Mushroom is pretty cool at first, although it feels like a huge waste of time after the millionth time using it. This one isn't considered. Moving on. Mario Hoops 3-on-3. Mario Hoops 3-on-3 is exactly what you'd expect from a Mario basketball game. Really, imagine a Mario sports game and slap basketball on it. Are there special moves for each character in your head? Are there coins involved? Can you beat the shit out of the opponent? Can you throw shells on the court? You've got yourself Mario Hoops 3-on-3. There's not much to say here. Like Sega Superstars 10S, it plays well, has its quirks, and it's a pretty fun game. Okay, Mario Party DS. You know, up until now, I've talked about so many Mario Party games on my channel, but I have still yet to talk about my favorite one, Mario Party 8. This video is being written on March 11, 2026. Let's see how long it takes for that to happen. Mario Party DS is a Mario Party game for the DS. The characters have been shrunken down and have to get back to stop Bowser. Along the way, they play board games, compete to get the most coins and stars, play mini games, and all that other shabam. It's decent. The boards aren't the best, but they're not the worst either. Not by a long shot, and I'm looking at you, Super Mario Party. Anyway, it's Mario Party, but being on the DS is pretty awesome. It gets some points there. Here we are again, Mario and Luigi. But this time it's Bowser's Inside Story. This game is pretty great. Partners in Time was awesome, but here you get to play as fucking Bowser. Every time Bowser is playable in something that isn't Mario Kart, Mario Party, or Smash Bros, it's a huge W for the fans. Bowser sucks up Mario and his friends. Mario and Luigi battle shit inside of Bowser, kind of acting like his immune system, while Bowser takes on the big bad guy, Fawful. In the end, he coughs them up and everything is right again. It's better than Partners in Time. I'd take Bowser over the babies any day. That's effectively it. There's also Mario and Donkey Kong Mini Land Mayhem, but it's effectively March of the Minis, and Minis March again. Oh, and don't forget Dr. Mario Express, which was an eShop exclusive until it came out on the DSi. Tetris. Dr. Mario is fucking Tetris. So, which Mario game is the worst? Well, it's definitely not the RPG ones. Mario 64 DS needs work, but it's very good. New Super Mario Bros. Doesn't belong anywhere on this list either. The Mario vs. Donkey Kong games are a contender, but they're nowhere near bad. Mario Kart DS is a treasured piece of gold. And if you hate Mario Party DS, you just hate Mario Party. And if that's the case, I don't want to see you anywhere near one of my parties. That leaves us with Mario Hoops 3-on-3. This is the worst Mario game on the DS. Unfortunately for Sonic, Mario Hoops 3-on-3 isn't even a bad bad game. It's just kind of mediocre. It's basically Sonic's tennis game, but honestly, this one is a lot better than that. I can't try to deny it. All of Mario's DS games are a 6 at worst and a 10 at best. Sonic has Chronicles, and even if you think that's fine enough like I do, Classic Collection isn't great either. Sonic loses here. Seriously, that's never surprising anymore. Okay, now how about those Olympic Games? I promised you guys an encore, and you got it. It may be a 1-minute encore, but still. These two games will be pitted against themselves, since they're both damn near the same thing, with both franchises in them. The original game isn't awful, it's largely just a collection of minigames. Competing against other people can be fun in seeing who gets the best score, but honestly, you might as well just play Mario Party DS. The minigames are Olympic themed, of course, and that's it. You go against opponents over and over and hopefully win in a circuit. Again, you might as well play Mario Party DS. At least it feels like you're playing towards something there. Here, it's pretty lonely unless you're playing with a friend or something. The minigames themselves are fine, they're pretty basic and not very deep, but again, fine. Now, a lot of this changes when we start talking about the sequel, Winter Games. Winter Games on the DS improves basically everything. The games are better with less touchscreen controls, and there's a dedicated story mode. So if you're gonna pick one of these, go with Winter Games 100% of the time. And that's it for the Olympic Encore. Back on track, Sonic lost this whole thing pretty handedly. Anyway, remember to vote on the next video. It'll be up tonight. We already hit 1,000 subscribers, way too early for my goal, so let's try to hit 2,000 subscribers by July. Can't wait to see you guys in the next one. See you later.